My name's Keith Rucker. So tonight I thought I'd just do a little machine shop talk video with you guys and show you some of the things that I've acquired over the past couple of weeks. A lot of viewer mail that's come in. I guess viewer appreciation gifts. I know in one of my videos that I shot recently, or maybe in a couple of videos, I've talked about some of these taper shank drills, these Morse taper drills, and how I said I was trying to put together a set, and I have been working on kind of getting these things put together, and I have bought several lots of them off of eBay and some other places like that recently, gotten some pretty good deals, and also have had quite a few people send me a message over the YouTube and offer to send some in, little extras or doubles or sizes that they can't use. And over the past few weeks, I've managed to put together a pretty nice little set of these. So I thought I'd just take a few minutes and show you these, and also show you some of the stuff that's just come in. Actually, some more drill bits have just come in. So most of the ones that are here, you know, these smaller sizes, I did a little machine shop talk video probably a month and a half ago or so, maybe longer than that, where I showed some of these that Dan Warner had sent down to me, where we had done a little trading a couple of months ago, and he packed up a bunch of them and sent them down to me. And again, I have bought some lots off of eBay, and also I've recently gotten these little organizers. I like to have things organized. That's just one of my traits. When I go looking for something, I don't want to have to dig through a box or a drawer or whatever and try to find the right thing. I like to be able to go put my hands on it. So I was looking for a way to organize these Morse taper drill bits, and just searching on the internet, what have you, and I found these little blocks, and these are actually just a single block. It's made out of PVC, and it's sold by a company named Colletizer.com, and Colletizers for collets, for metalworking machinery. He makes these little racks for organizing, mostly collets, but he also has some for number 1 and number 2 Morse taper drills. And really, these things are set. It's a strip of them, and they're kind of set where you can screw them to a wall or whatever, and just have a single layer. I decided to make a little tray, so I kind of clamped them all together or screwed them together and put some legs on them where I can have them organized. And again, I got number 1s and number 2s. Unfortunately, he doesn't make them for number 3 and number 4 size drills. I'm probably going to make something very similar to this to fit at least my number 3 sizes. The number 4s are maybe a little bit too large, I think, to go in something like this. I'll probably just keep those in a drawer or something, even though I like to have them a little better organized. I'll come up with another way instead of doing them like this, I think. We'll see. If you got any good ideas on how to organize these, send me some pictures or something. And let me say this too. A lot of people will send me a message on YouTube, and we'll immediately switch over to email. If you want to send me an email directly, don't want to fool with the YouTube thing, I'm going to put it on the screen right down here. It's krucker@friendlycity.net, and feel free to email me if you like. Anyway, it's easier than going through the YouTube channel. But anyway, this is what I got now. We'll show you some close-ups of these so you can kind of see. Got a pretty good range in the number 1 size. I've got about 3 of them that I'm missing, from 3/16 up to 3/8, maybe 4 sizes in that number 1 Morse taper size. Number 2s, right now I've got some holes in here, and then when you get to the larger ones, I'm actually, when I show you some of the things I've got over here, you'll see where I'm filling in some gaps. All right, so we'll kind of do this in the order of how I have received some of these. So again, I got a message over the YouTube forums several weeks ago from Mr. Roger Lavoie up in Statenville, North Carolina. He said he had a big drill bit, knew that I was looking for some of the bigger sizes, and offered to send them to me. So let me show you. I've already opened these up and got them kind of out, but look at this thing. This is a 2-inch drill bit, number 4 Morse taper on here. It's in pretty good shape. It's actually fairly sharp. I think it would do just fine, drilling out a hole right now, particularly enlarging a smaller hole. Man, this thing is heavy. It's nice. This is awesome. again, one of the main things I want some of these larger sizes for is I'm constantly boring out something on the lathe, and without the Morse taper shanks, the biggest drill bit I've got is a 1-inch drill bit that chucks up in my little drill chuck, and it will only drill a hole maybe 3-4 inches deep max. And so I'd start out with a 1-inch hole, and I have to start boring everything out to the bigger sizes. Now I can actually punch a hole in there 2 inches deep and then start boring there on some of these larger stuff. So anyway, that's from Roger. So thank you, Roger. That is really, really awesome. I'd hate to even know how much a 2-inch Morse taper shank drill bit would cost new, but this is awesome. He said this was something that he had, didn't really have a use for it. I don't think it would fit anything he had, so he acquired it somewhere along the way and offered to send it to me. So thank you, Roger. So I'll put this over here. So the next ones I'm going to show you, these are from Jim McCullough. Jim is up in Durham, North Carolina. Got a North Carolina trend going here. And this one's kind of funny how this one all happened. I have to tell the story because Jim again sent me a message over the forum or over the YouTube several weeks ago, and said he had some drills that he had picked up and some stuff. They were number 4 shanks, and I think the biggest thing he can use in his shop is a number 2, and they've just been sitting in a drawer. Says if you want them, you can have them. I said, yeah, I'd love to have them. Sent him my mailing address, and he was going to mail them to me. A couple of weeks had gone by, and I really hadn't thought anything else about it. Wasn't a big deal, whenever he gets around to it. Well, I was actually on a business trip, and I was in my hotel room. I was bored, didn't have anything to do. Actually, we'd gotten through early with a meeting that day, and I had several hours in the room that night, kind of by myself. And I was just piddling around on the internet and pulled up my YouTube site, and was actually had gotten a message from another one of my viewers, and I pulled up my messages in YouTube, and that message had come in like 2 weeks earlier, and for whatever reason it was marked as though it had not been read. Well, I opened it up, and I said, well, dang, I thought I had responded to that. And I said, well, I guess I didn't. I thought I remembered reading it. So I sent him another message. I said, look, I apologize. I already sent this to you. It doesn't look like I've responded to you. Yes, I'd be very interested in the drill bits, and again, I apologize for taking 2 weeks. Well, it wasn't just a couple of minutes later, he replied back. He's like, no, you replied to me, and I just haven't had a chance to get them mailed. Well, in the going back and forth on the comments over YouTube, I mentioned, I'm just sitting in my hotel room in Raleigh, North Carolina, sitting here trying to kill time. And he responded back, he said, I live in Durham, North Carolina, which for those of you who don't know, Raleigh and Durham are right close to one another. And I responded back, I said, well, technically I'm not in Raleigh, I'm in Durham. And I told him where I was staying, what hotel, and he's like, I only live like 3 minutes from there. So long story short, he just grabbed the drill bits, jumped in the truck, drove over to my hotel, and out in the parking lot, we had a great time visiting and chatting for a few minutes, and he gave me 3 big taper shank drill bits here. And so this is a 1 1/8 inch. All these are number 4 Morse tapers. 1 1/8 inch. Let's see, this one is 1 1/2 inches, and this one is 1 5/16 inch. So starting to build up my collection of bigger drill bits over here, bigger Morse tapers. Let me get those in the screen where you can see them. So I got several big sizes, and remember, I've also got 1 1/4 inch that's in my toolbox out at the museum right now. So anyway, I got those from him. I was actually flying home the next day. It was a business trip, and I had to get on an airplane early the next morning. And I said, well, normally I just carry my bags on. I said, well, I guess I'll have to check my bags since I got these drill bits in them. It probably won't go through the security too well. And I had a funny feeling that when they saw these in the x-ray machine, even on the check bags, they were going to check my bag. So when I got home and opened up my suitcase, I had the little note in here from TSA, from the Transportation Security Administration, just saying, notice of baggage inspection. So they opened up my bag and inspected my big drill bits. All right, and still on the drill bit theme, just today, I got another message through the YouTube probably about a week ago from Brian Block. Brian is in Shelbyville, Kentucky, and he said, hey, I got some taper shank drill bits I'd like to send you. So we'll go through these real quick and see what he sent along. And again, I've already opened these up and kind of looked at them. So here's a number 4 taper, 1 3/8. Another good size that I need. I think it'll fit right there. Number 4 taper, 1 5/32. Probably right there. And of course these are going with some of the ones I already have. This is a number 3 taper, 1 1/16. That one's going to go about right there. Number 3 taper here, 7/8. It's another size I did not have. Most of these sizes I didn't have, which is really awesome. Number 3 taper, 59/64. Again, I'm going to have to make something to store these in a little bit better than what I got now, which is nothing on the bigger stuff. And you can see I'm starting to put some together. Number 3 taper, 13/16. Again, a size I don't have. I'm really filling in my gaps here, guys. And here is another number 3 taper. This one is another 15/16. Or did I just say 15/16? Anyway, it's a 15/16. And then we get down to the number 2 tapers. And this one is 11/16. And that one's got a home right there. Got a new one to go in my block. 23 30-seconds. 23, let's see, 21. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to replace this one. I had a 23 30-seconds, but you know, one of them's kind of short. One of them's a lot nicer. This one's sharp and ready to go. So I'll put this in my box over here with my doubles. That's a much better drill bit there. 21 30-seconds. And 19 goes right here. This is another 21 30. No, this one's a 21. Yeah, 21 30-seconds. So that one's same as that one. Let's see, which one do I want to put in here? They're both about the same. They're both sharp. Actually, they're both same brand and everything, it looks like. So we'll just put that one back in there. I'll put that one over in my double pile. And then 2 real long ones. These are both 9/16. And I think I'll put this one in here. And that one is really long. I'm gonna put it probably separately, just because it's so tall. But that one right there, I'm sure is going to come in handy one of these days. So anyway, and that's what Brian sent me there. So as you can see, my collection's really growing. Still got a few more holes to fill in, but we're making progress. So thought I'd share with you too this box here. This is a box of stuff that I just picked up this week from Mike Wiggins. Mike is a subscriber of mine, but also I've known Mike for quite some time. He lives over in Statesboro, Georgia. Known each other for a couple of years now, primarily through the old woodworking machine forums that we both participate in. And Mike is also a machinist by trade. Does some woodworking on out at his shop that he has at his house. He also has a little machine shop at home that he does some work in. So I saw Mike probably a couple of months ago, and I had a couple of items that he could use for his shop, and he said, well, I'll do some trading with you. I got some stuff for you. So anyway, I was actually over in that area over in southeast Georgia earlier this week with my job. Anyway, I called up Mike and we arranged to meet. And anyway, he brought me a couple of things to take home with me, kind of in trade, I guess, for some of the stuff that I gave him. So I thought I'd go through this box, and actually there's some more stuff over here too that I got from him as well that we'll show you. So Mike told me, when we worked out the trade on this thing, he said he's got a couple of these geometric heads, tapping heads, or die heads, excuse me. So these are die heads, so you put different threaded die stock in these for different size threads in these, and you put this on the tailstock of your lathe. You turn the piece down to whatever size you want, and it just kind of goes up on there and forms all those threads in one pass. You can adjust these to get the threads just like you want. They're used primarily in more production settings. Back when I was working in a machine shop in the 80s, we ran a lot of turret lathes at that time. Really kind of before the CNCs kind of kicked into gear. In the shop we were running old turret lathes, but we would use these die heads all the time on those. We were doing the same cut over and over. So Mike thought I might like these. He saw some of my videos where I was making those square head bolts and just having to make the same thread cuts over and over and over again, and I was chasing them all by hand. So he said he had a couple of these that he wasn't using. He got in when he bought out a bunch of another machine shop, I guess, or got a bunch of stuff from a machine shop, and this stuff was in there. So he gave me this one. This is a rubometric. The other one is a rubometric also. There's actually two of them. So this is a little bitty tiny one for real fine threads. This one here, I'm guessing, that might go up to maybe a 5/8. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just looking at the hole in there, maybe up to about a 5/8 diameter. You could tap with this one. This one goes down to really, really small stuff. So right now, it has a 5/16 32 dies in there, but this goes down to even you're really small, like a 632 or something. In fact, when Mike was looking through some of the dies he had some really off-the-wall dies, and he kept a lot of these because he's got some more of these that he kept, but he had some down to like a 0.94 thread or something crazy like that. And there were some of these numbered stuff he had was not what I'd call standard. So in addition to that, he also had some boxes with brand new dies in them, and he threw in some of these as well. So that's an 832, 632, quarter 23. That's kind of an oddball size. These are 3/8 24, quarter 26, 5/16 18, 5/16 24, a number 348, quarter 20. That's a handy size. Quarter 24, another handy size. 832, 3/8 24, and a looks like a 5/16 18. So anyway, some dies that go in here. These are all pretty much, they look brand spanking new dies. We looked at these the other day, and they're in great shape. So anyway, got these die heads and a bunch of miscellaneous dies, and I think I can still find dies for these online. We looked on eBay. You can pick up some on there. So hopefully I'll be able to as I'm using these or have an opportunity to use these, I'll be able to start doing this. So maybe I'll have some videos coming up where we set these up. It's been a long time since I've used a die head, so I'm going to have to reintroduce myself to them. And the ones I used to use were a little bit different than this, not a whole lot different, but anyway, maybe we can get some videos on using these die heads soon. In addition, let's see, he had a big turning tool here. This is just a little triangle cutter there. It says insert is a BTC 32. This is a Kinedex tooling. Anyway, he had this one. He didn't have anything that would take a 1-inch tool holder, so this was something that he had picked up. Anyway, he threw that in. Let's see. Step off camera for just a second. Here's a Valinite tool holder, and this one is for a let's see, this is a VDBS 16. This is a grooving tool insert holder. So actually this is the tool holder, and there's a little anvil that bolts on here for doing grooving. So I don't have everything, but this little part right here is part of it. So I may try to track down a Econo groove is what they call this. So I may try to track down a little anvil to go on here that holds some different grooving tools, and who knows, I may have a use for that one of these days. And that's also for a 1-inch tool holder. So, and then also he had a bunch of horizontal milling cutters, and he doesn't have a horizontal milling machine. So I kind of went through a box and just, this is one of those things you don't ever really know what you're going to need ahead of time. Bugs are coming out tonight. But I just kind of went through there and picked out some profiles that I thought might come in handy. I got a bunch of just slitting saws and straight stuff. So, there's a contour, there's an angle cutter, another contour cutter, radius cutter, there's just a straight cutter there. Anyway, just a whole bunch of stuff. There's another kind of a angle cutter. Here's a kind of a ball end cutter. Another one kind of like that. Got some slitting saws in here. Anyway, just some miscellaneous milling cutters. And I've got a box around here just full of miscellaneous milling cutters, because like I said, anytime I can get these, particularly if you can get them for nothing or next to nothing, I'll just pick them up just to have them. And then it seems like even though I've got a pretty good collection, when I get ready to do a job, I have to go find what I need, because you never seem like you have what you need. But anyway, got all this. So anyway, this was kind of what I traded with Mike on, and in addition, and I'll show you this here. He, again, knowing that I had the horizontal milling machine, he said, I got a 5-gallon bucket out there that's just full of stuff, and there's a bunch of spacers that go on a milling machine bar. He said, just take the whole bucket home with you. So anyway, we'll stop the video and I'll pull over here. I've actually already gone through this and sorted it all out where I can, again, I like to be organized. So, the bucket was just full of stuff, and there's still a little bit of stuff in the bottom of the bucket. This is just miscellaneous junk. It looked like it probably came from a tool and die maker shop, and a lot of this stuff just looks like a scrap piece or whatever. They just kind of threw it in a bucket, but there was a lot of good stuff in here too. So we'll show you this. So after I went through the bucket, it probably took me an hour to kind of sort through everything, and I put everything in different piles based on what it was and what size it was. A lot of this stuff in here, again, was just bushings and spacers to go on milling machine arbors. There was some other stuff in there too. So I kind of broke these out by size. So these are 1.5 inches, not a whole lot in this size, but I really like these. Are these really thin shim ones. I actually have a good many of these other ones, other sizes of these are that are out at the shop right now. So I'll probably just mix these in with these buckets now that I've got something a little more organized to put them in. But anyway, that's 1.5 inches. These are all 1.25 inches. Quite a few of them. These 1 inches, this is what we had the most of, a bunch of these. This bin here, again, this has got a couple different sizes in here. There wasn't a lot of these, so I got some really big ones. These are 2 inches, not a lot of those. There's some 7/8 in here. I'm not sure if these went on a milling machine arbor or something else. I don't remember ever seeing too many 7/8 inch arbors. And there's also some 1 3/16 in here. And again, I'm not 100% sure these went on milling arbors, but they're keyed spacers or keyed bushings regardless, so I put them in here. So this next bin over here is just full of bushings, spacers, washers. There's some funky stuff in here, but I know I'm always looking for a bushing or something when I'm in a shop, a machine shop or whatever. I figure, I can dig through here and find something that I can use. So I just kind of threw all these together. There's really very little in here that matches anything. It's just all kind of random stuff. A lot of this looks like stuff that was being made and rejects, extras. I don't know. They were just thrown in this box. This bucket, it was full of stuff. This one's kind of interesting. So this one is full of drill bushings. So these are for like putting together a jig that you need to drill holes in. You want to get them all lined up. You would create a jig, you put a part in there, and then you have these hardened bushings that you just drill down into and drill your holes, and are always in the right place. So there was just a whole bunch of these random drill bushings. Again, I think this was probably in a tool and die shop, and this is probably from some dies or from some jigs, fixtures that they had probably put together and taken apart, weren't using anymore, and they're just random sizes. Actually, some of these are some pretty big drill sizes. Again, back when I worked in the machine shop, we would very often make a little jig if we had a production job come and need a bunch of drilling in it. It was just easier to do that than it was to go lay it out in the milling machine every time. You just clamp your part in there, zip, zip, zip on the drill press, and you're done. But I don't know that I ever had any this big. That's pretty big. Something's pretty big. Anyway, something that I can probably use at some point in time. So a lot of good stuff here, and some more stuff here. Let me switch over here and I'll show you this other stuff that we found in the bucket. And here are a couple other things that we found in the box that I'll take a few minutes to share with you. So number one, there was a whole bunch of these shouldered bolts in here, screws, whatever, shoulder screws, miscellaneous sizes, whatever. I sorted them all out. I got them in a bin there. Here's some other just cap screws, some thumb screws, I don't know, just a bunch of different miscellaneous stuff again. I've got some bins that have a lot of this stuff in them, and I'll probably put these in the right spots. The rest of them I'll just leave in a bin I can find. So we got some springs. Hey, you always need a spring, right? So I put those there together. Anyway, so that's kind of the other kind of boring stuff. Here's some of the more other kind of interesting things I guess we found in there. So first off, these are replacement cutters for knurling. So one of these is a diamond pattern, one of them is just a crisscross pattern, or let's see, I think I saw on here, yeah, Armstrong written on these. So these are, again, knurling cutters. They look like they're brand spanking new. They got this little keeper in here, a little spring in there, where they were sold together as a pair. So I don't know if I got a holder to fit those. I got some knurling tools, and these very well may fit. So anyway, I'll throw these in the toolbox and have them in case I ever need them. Found a little file in there. This is a Heller file, made in USA, a little smooth half-round file on one side and flat on the other, smooth cut. It's in decent shape. It's kind of rusty or whatever, but not bad. I'll send files off to get sharpened out in Boggs Tool Company, so I'll probably throw this in my box with the files that I'll send off to get reworked. So this was kind of interesting. This is a little cutter, so it's missing one of the little cutting teeth on here that clamps on here. And when I saw these, I wasn't exactly sure what they were. I had to look at them to kind of figure it out. But it says on the top here, it says for music wire. So I figured that was a wire cutter, just a little crimper to cut wire. And when I got to look on here, I found the name on it. I had to get something to clean it off. The L.S. Starrett Company, patented in 1899, a number 1-6.5. So again, looks like some type of nipper or cutter. Unfortunately, one of the teeth or one of the cutters is missing. This is designed where you could take them off and replace them or adjust them. They got little teeth in there where you can adjust these, I guess, for different size pieces of music wire or whatever you're cutting. So I've never seen a pair of Starrett nippers like that. Anyway, I don't know if that's something that's collectible or whatever. I'll probably clean it up. Be nice if I could find the right little piece to go back on there. I might be able to make one if I had to, out of some tool steel. But anyway, I thought that was kind of neat. So this is a chuck. I think this may be a chuck off of a brace, a hand drill. I'm not exactly sure, but it actually still works. So I don't know exactly what it came off of, but anyway, I got a bunch of little small chucks. I'll throw that in there with them. So here's a little Lathe Dog, 3/8. Is that what that says? Yeah, 3/8. It's got a little logo, a diamond with some kind of letter in it. I can't read that, but anyway, always use a Lathe Dog. Had some miscellaneous key stock. No, nothing real fancy there, but hey, again, I've got a box full of key stock. I'll throw that in there. It'll get used one day. There were a couple of T-slot nuts in there. I'll put that with my kit with the rest of them. Big ball bearing. think Tom Lipton said the other day, every machinist toolbox should have some ball bearings in them. I actually got a few, so I'll add that to my collection. And these are carbide. You can tell by the weight of them. That's a little round disc. It looks like it's probably some type of cutter. This one's chipped and broken, but they're all brand new. It doesn't have a real sharp edge on it. I'm not exactly sure what these went to, but it looks like some type of insert maybe that goes on something. That's probably about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, maybe. Let me grab my calipers. So they're tapered, but the large diameter here, yes, is 1 inch, or just about 10/1000ths shy of being 1 inch. And the edge is not real, it's kind of got a little bit of a contour right there, but still it looks like some type of cutter. If anybody knows what those go to, send me a message. And then this little thing, I'm not sure what this is. This little weight has an S on it. It's cast, I guess. Again, I'm not exactly sure what that went to either, but kind of neat. So there you go. That's pretty much the contents of the bucket after we sorted it all out. And I showed you earlier the stuff that was left in there that I have no idea what it goes to, but kind of fun to always go through a mystery bucket every now and then. So there you go. Some of my latest haul. When you kind of add it all together, it makes a pretty good pile. So this is pretty awesome. So thanks for all the guys out there that were kind enough to send along some drill bits to me to help fill out my collection. Thank you to Mike Wiggins for also helping me fill out some holes here in my shop that I can hopefully put to use down the road. I'm excited. I can't wait to start playing around with these little die heads and just kind of reacquaint myself to them and get used to using them again and see how they work out. And again, some good milling machine cutters, milling machine spacers, and what have you. So thank you. And to all my subscribers out there, I can't thank you enough. You guys are really the reason that I do this. When I first started posting videos on here, it was just kind of to show some people over on the Old Woodworking Machines forum who were asking some questions about some of the stuff I was doing. And I never really intended for this thing to be any more than that. Just, to show it to a handful of people. And through the magic, I guess, of YouTube and the internet, it's gotten out, and, all you guys are watching what's going on now. So right now, when I looked earlier today, we're a little over 7,200 subscribers. That number's going up every day. Still just blows my mind. Now I can't help but be trying to reach that goal of 10,000. So I've been doing this now for really seriously. I guess I got a few videos that go back for, a little over a year, but really since I started getting serious about posting stuff regularly on YouTube, it's been about 9 months. And it's just incredible to me to think that in 9 months that many people are now following what I'm doing and interested in what I'm doing and commenting on things, and it's a lot of fun, guys. I'm having a ball, just a blast doing all this, and I hope that you're getting something out of it as well. And maybe by the time I get to a year, I'll hit that 10,000 mark. I think I'm on track to do that. So thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for watching, and feel free to send me an email, krucker@friendlycity.net. or post a comment over on YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. Again, I get so many comments now, I can't respond to each and every one of them, but if you got a specific question, I will do my best to respond to that. Thank you.